What's good? What's good, ladies and gentlemen? It's RFG. I'm back at it today, and I'm here to explain what's really going on with this cold air front that has hit the United States. All right. Very, very crazy shit going on around us. And I've been paying attention to, what's been going on in Texas for the past few hours now. And I was reading this right here. If you just put in Texas weather on Google, this is what you're going to see, folks. Right here, they have issued a winter storm warning for Houston and Galveston. And it says that dangerous ice storm expected to create life-threatening conditions through tomorrow morning. All right. In Houston and Galveston area. All right, so everybody in that area, if you could possibly move to a different location, or if you have an underground bunker, which most people don't have, you would be a lot safer. Very, very crazy shit going on. So I basically looked at, the pictures of what's going on in Texas. You have the lowest temperatures in Texas history, and in a span of only a few days. And they are also claiming that there are massive power outages in the same areas that were hit with the snowstorms in Texas. All right. Now, I'm just gonna be straight to the point. No time in modern history has there ever been a snowstorm in Texas of this magnitude. All right? No time in modern history has there ever been a snowstorm in Texas of this magnitude. All right? And in the same week, only a few days ago, there was a tornado, like a mini sandstorm tornado in Las Vegas, where I'm at. There was also a tornado in North Carolina a few days ago. All right, so this tells me that one of two things is going on. One of two things is causing this. It's either a pole shift taking place, where the United States is going to be located either at the bottom of the earth or at the top of the earth, and because of that, it's going to not get as much sunlight as the other pieces of the earth, which would cause North America to be extremely cold. Okay, this is one explanation. All right, that's one explanation, but there's something very strange about this, because if this is true and we are actually experiencing a pole shift, my question is, why is it only Texas that is experiencing this weather, this out of the norm weather? Because the fact remains that if North America was placed at the top of the world or at the bottom of the world, all of North America would be experiencing extremely cold weather. All of North America would be experiencing the same weather of Texas. Why is it that Texas is the only state that is experiencing this kind of weather? And then, why is Texas the only state that has experienced massive power outages? Why is Texas the only state experiencing massive power outages? Texas is not colder than Alaska. Alaska is much colder than Texas. So, and you never hear about Alaska experiencing massive power outages. So that tells me that the power outages in Texas have nothing to do with the temperature. Because once again, like I just stated, Alaska is much colder than Texas, and Alaska never experiences massive power outages. So why in the hell is Texas the only state that is experiencing massive power outages? And they're saying that the temperature in Texas is going to get so fucking low, where they have issued a goddamn a winter storm warning of life-threatening conditions. All right, this definitely tells me that H.A.A.R.P could be involved. H.A.A.R.P could be involved in this. All right. So right here, you see, Texas produces more power than any other state in the U.S. and it went dark anyway. And here's why. You see, this is all a fucking agenda. I definitely think this is all a fucking agenda. And we could be looking at H.A.A.R.P. H.A.A.R.P has satellites that can actually shoot energy waves like throughout the atmosphere. All right, these satellites can shoot energy waves throughout the atmosphere, and these energy waves can either be warm or cold. All right, so I think they're shooting massive amounts of cold energy waves onto the land of Texas to create this massive cold air front. And if you don't think the government has this technology, all right, you can just go watch the James Bond movie, James Bond Die Another Day. And that is where they depicted a massive satellite that actually reflected the sun's heat and projected the sun's heat in a directed ray, a directed solar beam, all right, that could hit any target that that the satellite projected. So basically, the satellite took a piece of the sun's solar rays and reflected it back onto any point that it was pointed to. So basically like a giant fucking magnifying glass. All right, that's what this fucking the satellite conducted itself as. And they also have the opposite. They also have the opposite, where they can literally shoot energy waves onto the Earth's surface, and they can manipulate the temperature of those energy waves. All right, we are on Illuminati card weather satellite, folks. We are on Illuminati card weather satellite. All right, they showed you in the goddamn cards. They have a weather satellite. All right, that is used to manipulate the fucking weather. Guys, you better start waking up, because they're not even hiding it anymore. They're putting it right in front of your faces. So like I said, my question to the people who are gonna say it's a pole shift, I do believe, don't get me wrong, I do believe that pole shifts are very possible. And we've had pole shifts in the past. My thing is, if this is really a pole shift, why is Texas the only state in the United States experiencing this type of weather right now? All right, because if it is a pole shift and all of North America is moving towards the top of the earth or the bottom of the earth, that means that all of North America should be experiencing the same fucking weather. All right, so my question to everybody who believes that this is a natural pole shift: why is Texas the only state experiencing this level of weather? All right, and why is Texas the only state experiencing massive power outages when there are locations that are much colder than Texas and they don't experience these massive power outages? You see what I'm saying? This fits into the fucking agenda of the planned EMP strike. There's a planned EMP strike that is coming in the very near future in the U.S. You see, And that EMP strike is going to cause a nationwide power outage. And they're going to try to blame it on a solar flare. They're also going to try to blame it on another country. But this has been a plan and an agenda of the United States for quite some time now. All right. And like I said in previous videos, in between now and 2024, we are going to experience all of these fucking experiments. All right. And a lot of these government experiments are going to be conducted by H.A.A.R.P. And what their main agenda and their main goal is to bring the people to their knees. Bring the people to their knees by using the weather satellites. Make the people believe it's natural. Make the people believe that it's natural. Make them believe that it's the Bible and Revelation, when I already debunked Revelation of the Bible and proven it to have been just the plan of the Zionists and the Jesuits. You see, they want the sheeple to believe that Revelation is something divine, that it's so-called God's will, but it's nothing but the plan of the Jesuit Freemasonic warlocks. All right? The universe never said that 6 billion people had to die on the earth. The universe never said that 6 billion people had to be exterminated on the earth. All right? That came from the Freemasonic Jesuit warlocks that are running your society right now. Right? Revelation in the so-called good book is not divine, and it is not the universe's plan. All right? Revelation in the good book is a psyop. So H.A.A.R.P. has these fucking weather satellites, all right, just like the ones you see in the James Bond movies and many other so-called sci-fi movies as well. These particular satellites, what they're doing is they're sending charged particles in the atmosphere, and they are sending massive energy waves with cold temperatures, and it's causing cold air fronts to be emitted onto the surface and in the air around Texas. All right, and this is to cause, of course, situations like this. All right, and I believe the power outages was caused by the government. All right, this brings the people of Texas to their knees. Now, I'm going to tell you why they want to bring people of Texas to their knees. It's because Texas has the largest population of legal gun owners in the United States. As a matter of fact, Texas has the largest population of gun owners in the world. Texas has the largest population of legal gun owners in the fucking world. Texas is the only state that can legally detach itself from the United States. Texas, all right, hear me out, is the only state that can legally, so-called legally, detach itself from the United States, and Texas has the largest population of legal gun owners in the world. The governor and a lot more politicians in Texas, they are defying the COVID-19 lockdown laws. They are defying the COVID-19 lockdown laws. You see, and the government can't have this. The government can't have this. So just like what they did in China back in 2019, remember, no, they did it in China in 2019 and in 2020. Last summer and the summer before that, the Chinese government used their satellites to create the biggest flood, the biggest rainstorm flood in 33 years in China. All right. And that was right after you had all those protests and revolutions and rebellions in China. And those people got silenced over 40 million people were displaced from their homes. Over 40 million Chinese people were left fucking homeless after the floods that were created because of H.A.A.R.P being used in China in 2019 and in 2020. That's how they stop the goddamn rebellions now. They use their H.A.A.R.P machines, and they get the sheeple to think it's something divine, and it's happening because of God's will. You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, it's the goddamn hidden hand the whole time, right? So once again, this is happening in Texas because the government wants to bring people of Texas to their knees. They have the largest population of legal gun owners. And this state, I believe, is the most defiant when it comes to these COVID-19 lockdown laws. All right. So and if you think that there's not an agenda to ban guns, I'm going to have to take your ass back to The Simpsons. I'm just going to have to take your ass back to The Simpsons, because there is an episode of The Simpsons. It is a real episode where gun confiscation was conducted. All right. Gun confiscation and the ban on owning guns was conducted in the United States in the cartoon Simpsons. Go look up the episode. Okay, you can go research the episode for yourself. All right. And the person who issued out the gun ban, I believe, was the daughter Simpson, the same daughter Simpson that ended up being the president. So the same daughter Simpson that ended up being the fucking first female president, she issued out the fucking gun ban, which shows that Miss Kamala, when Miss Kamala gets in there, right, she's going to bring the people to their knees with the fucking weather satellites, you see? And at that point, most people will be vulnerable to having their guns confiscated. Go research what they did in Hurricane Katrina. Go research what the fuck the government and FEMA was doing in Hurricane Katrina. They were ransacking legal gun owners' homes and taking the fucking guns away. Go do the research. All right? All right? Go do the research. All right? This is what time we are living in. It is almost time for the great fucking reset. I think there's an agenda to drop massive missiles on certain locations and lie, and so the government can lie and say that they're asteroids. You know, that's where I think this thing is headed to. So, that's really all I had to say on that topic. I don't think that this is natural. I think that this is being done by the weather satellites owned by H.A.A.R.P. And it's being done to bring the Texans to their knees because they have the highest population of gun owners in the world, and they are defying COVID-19 lockdown regulations. All right. And this is an agenda to ban guns in the United States in the future. So in other news, I know all about Beyonce sacrificing her cousin. I know all about Nicki Minaj sacrificing her father. I know all about Vincent Jackson's sacrifice. All right. Vincent Jackson's sacrifice was all about the 38 connection and the 83 connection. All right. And I posted about the ritual with Vincent Jackson and his connection to 83 on my Instagram, on my latest post. So if you haven't already seen that, go check that out. All right. So that's basically, all I had to say about the situation in Texas. All right. If you do live in Texas, you have family members in Texas, you definitely want to tell them to get to the closest location where they feel would be safe. Right. So with that being said, that's all I had to say on this topic. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and the Atlantean movement. If you would like to see me decode certain movies, TV shows, cartoons, or video games, you could just sign up for the Patreon account and give me a request, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. The link to the Patreon is in the description. All right. So that's all I had to say on this topic. Peace and love. It's the Chosen One. I'm out.